In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and doing some testing on this Vantec NexStar Super Speed USB 3.0 and eSATA hard drive dock. That's what it looks like. Maximum transfer rates up to 5 gigabits a second. Compatible with SATA 1, 2, 3 hard drives. Looks like it will use both 2.5 and 3.5 inch drives. Internal interface SATA, external interface USB 3.0, and it's also backwards compatible. It'll do up to a 3 terabyte hard drive. Okay, well, let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so here's what's inside the box. We've got an installation guide. Got an AC adapter, a USB 3.0 transfer cable, no eSATA cable, this nice foam padding to protect it. I'm going to guess this light here indicates drive usage. This ring must indicate power, or that the drive is on. The back here we've got the eSATA USB 3.0 and then the power in. Up top, oh, I see how that works. The 2.5 inch drive fits in there, pushing that out of the way, and a 3.5 inch drive pushes them both out of the way. And there's a little switch down here, so the unit will not become active or turn on probably until this switch is pushed down. And then I'm going to guess maybe this is, oh, I see, eject. Okay, so you push this button and it ejects it. That's kind of nice rather than sit there and tugging on the drive. So it should just, yeah, that looks kind of cool. Let me grab a drive here and we'll give it a shot. Okay, I've got a notebook drive, Western Digital. Let's pop that in here. Oh, yep, just fits nicely. Oh, I see, yeah, just push the button and it comes out. Okay, now let's try it with a 3.5 inch drive. Okay. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. I've used other ones that you have to physically hold it and pull, but this one's quite nice with just the button. Okay, let's get it plugged into the PC and let's see what kind of transfer rates this thing gets. Real quickly, I stand corrected. There was an eSATA cable in the box. I just threw it off to the side with some of the packaging materials. So it does have the USB 3 and the eSATA cable with it. So I stand corrected there. But now we'll get on to testing. Okay, so I've got hooked up the computer, plugged into the outlet on the wall, and we're going to be testing the USB 3.0 first. So I've got it plugged into my USB 3.0 port on my computer, and this is an X79 chipset. So let's plug this in and we'll turn it on. So that's a switch, that's not a button, so it does move in and out. Okay, let's see. Alright, Windows has detected it. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to, let's pan over to the screen here, and what I'm going to do is get a little bit better vantage point. There we go. I'm going to copy a 2 gigabyte folder to the drive from an SSD in the system. So it won't be an issue of the read performance of the system whatsoever. It's going to not be bottlenecked. The bottleneck here is definitely going to be either the USB 3.0 or the device itself. So I'll copy that over, and 1.49 gigabytes. Let's see what it's waiting for. Still hasn't come up. Still calculating. Not really sure what it's waiting on here. The activity light on the device, on the NexStar, is blinking that the hard drive is in use, but we don't have any. Oh, okay. That was weird. I didn't get a transfer rate, but it did move 2 gigabytes over rather quickly as I watched, as we watched. Let me delete that file and move it back over again. There we go. 700, 400, 5. Okay, so we're getting a little under 500 megabytes a second on average. Wow, so that's pretty quick. That's a lot faster than I expected to move a 2 gigabyte file. I'm guessing. I'm not sure what the pause is for. It's quite a long pause here, unless it did some write caching is enabled or something, which is possible. But at any rate, it did move it over quite quickly. I'll delete it off of the desktop, and then when it gets done, we'll see about moving it back. I'm just not quite sure what it's. Okay, there it goes. Not quite sure what that pause was at the end. Maybe some write caching, perhaps. Let's bring it back over to there, and we're getting 600 megabytes a second, and that was fast. Wow. Okay, so this thing moves data very, very fast. Let's take this, delete it again, and see if we can't see what we got going on there again. Yeah, I'm guessing it must be doing some write caching of some sort, because we're just all the way done instantly. It must be starting to remember what I'm doing here. Okay, let's try a different file. Another DLC from Borderlands. They're always a good start. Okay, let's cancel you. Okay, now let's bring this over. Okay, 200 megabytes. This is coming from a hard drive to this external hard drive. So I imagine the bottleneck here definitely is the hard drive within the system. It's only a 5900 RPM hard drive. And we can see it's doing it again where it kind of pauses. So I'm sure it's just some write caching that is catching up with it. So at any rate, this thing is quite fast. Go ahead and stop the video here, and then we'll hook it up to the eSATA, and we'll see what kind of performance we get from the eSATA bus. Okay, so now we're hooked up to the eSATA, and I'm going to copy over the 4 Borderlands DLCs that I have at 5 gigabytes is what they end up being. So I'll send them over, and we are getting 1 gigabyte a second, 500 megs. So we're getting it. Well, we drop a little bit there. Getting 300 megs, 200 megs, 250, 250. So it seems like eSATA might be a little slower here. USB 3.0 I think did perform a little better. This is kind of dwindling down here to the 180 megs a second, 179. This is coming from an SSD, so definitely either the drive or the device is at fault here. And I'm going to guess that, you know, in that 200 megabytes a second, probably the drive at that point. I think in this test where I copied more, the write caching couldn't keep up, so it was more dependent upon the drive. In fact, the drive is still being written too, so I'm going to guess that the drive in the enclosure was the problem point here to slow it down. But overall, I think on larger file transfers, I bet you the USB 3.0 suffers the same fate, when the write caching fills up, and then it goes to the actual performance of the mechanical drive that is in the dock. But anyway, it's still a pretty cool product nonetheless. I would definitely recommend it. I've used USB 2.0 docks before, and it takes forever to do a backup or whatnot, or just to move some files. This one here lets the drive be the limiting factor rather than the bus, so I would definitely recommend it. And I think it was less than $50. I picked it up at Newegg, and like I said again, I recommend this product. I think it's pretty cool if you're moving large amounts of files and you don't want to wait forever. And as always, thank you guys for watching.